Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to this old trike. Got some business to tend to today. Figured you guys might want to come along, see what's going on. It involves getting the trailer out. You know, it's one of those days when you might need a trailer. Not a necessity, but it's just going to make things easier. But my trailer has some stuff on it that I gotta get off. Forgot about these. Not really, but yeah, we gotta get these guys off so we can have the space. Let's do that. All right. So what we have here is the 81, 82, 83, 84 air-cooled 250R lineup. And then the 84, 83, 83 blue 110 contingent. And a trailer that needs to be blown out and cleaned up and made ready for today's trip. So stay tuned. We'll get you some video from the road. Hey everybody, we're in the truck today on our way to this deal. Got my buddy Greg with me today, Palin in the back. We are somewhere in very rural New York, looking at all the pretty farms. We are on our way to look at two big reds, actually three big reds, three 1987 big reds. I don't know the full story on them, but we're going to learn that. But these were a lead given to me by the guy Kyle that I've interacted with online, but we'll be meeting today in person for the first time. He did the legwork on these. I'll let him tell the story on that, but he can't buy all three, so I'm going to help him out with two, and he's going to be getting the one, and that will be what we're going to show today. So I think we're about probably 6, 7, 8 minutes out, and you'll see in just a second what we're looking at. So stay tuned. Sometimes people don't know how beautiful New York is. You tell people you're from New York and they think you're from the city. But this is not the city. I hope you can count to 3. is we got 1, 2, 3, 87 Big Red 250ESs here. They were found by Kyle, Honda Hoarders, owned by Mike. Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
Thanks for having us here today. These are beautiful. Mike has owned these for just about 20 years. They were originally owned by the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was nice because they left the tank decals, because I had one that was owned by the Warren County, New York Sheriff's Department, but they took the tank decal off, and it had been a round sticker, but they peeled that off too. So, but these are beautiful machines. And Kyle and I are going to flip for which ones we get, I got. Very great. A lot of times the fender trims will be missing and fenders are all cracked up, but Mike has been a great steward of these. Mike, a lot of people say these were made to be put in a mud hole, but it's obvious you
Not these three.
you didn't abide by that, and that's good. They look great. Your chainsaw chain is in here.
Yeah, we used to use them to go out
Yeah.
and get us to and from work sites out there.
But we're not going to take up too much of Mike's time, and we're going to get things loaded. So in 85, they didn't have this little holder. This is 86, 87.
Right.
To put the book in there.
Never had the, the toolkits are in them. I've never had them out of the.
Yep. My buddy PJ Hart, he commented on one of the videos that I should do a complete service on a machine using only the tools they provided.
Right.
He's good for great ideas.
We've got ourselves out of trouble with that little toolkit.
Yeah. In a pinch.
Yeah.
That's a Honda.
That's nice.
That's a Honda when it's long.
That's one. When did you ever? This is the proper foot of tire. Now we gotta chain them, strap them. You excited, Kyle?
Oh, more than excited. Something else I just noticed though, these keychains are from the Sheriff's Department, but it has a number on the.
That's 154. Check that one over there.
Oh, the number on mine is 153, but the keychain is 152. What was that? 153.
So that way, if something went wrong, they could say, "Oh, somebody else was using it." And
Yeah.
so it made them want to tell you.
Accountable to it, yeah.
That's right.
Where's the corresponding number on the key on this?
It may not be there.
Oh, right there. That is cool. They made it look like a Honda decal, really.
All right, guys.
Well, I appreciate you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Can you move that ring up on top? So Kyle, You were telling me how you came to find out about these. Can you tell us how that all happened?
Yeah, I saw these three-wheelers in a parade, local parade here in Canterbury, New York. And I was just like so interested. I went to the guy who, for the business they had them for in the parade, and I said, hey, would you be willing to part with those? And at the storefront, it was the grandson. So he gave me the grandfather's number, and I gave him a call, and he was on vacation in Florida for 5 weeks.
Oh, wow.
After I called him first, that was April 7th when I first called him. So this deal is 2 months in the making. Once he got back from vacation, I reached out to him again, came and saw him in person, asked Preston if he could buy the other two, because I could only buy one at the time.
Can you go to that?
And yeah, today's the day we're loading them up.
So when you first reached out to me, that was when you had only talked to the grandson?
Yes,
So it wasn't even a sure thing at that point?
not even. I just knew of this deal that could happen, and I've never dealt with something of this value before. So I asked the Honda King over here what he would offer for these Hondas.
Cool. It worked out. Is that what you offered him and he said yes?
Originally, I threw out. So I was like, okay. He was like, I want to list them on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and I said, give me 2 or 3 days to see if I can figure something out, and he pulled through.
So I'm noticing you've got the proper attire, you've got Honda Hoarder shirt,
Of course.
you've got the silver necklace, because that's what that draws in the Hondas. So
Yeah.
that's what happened here. Now, if you could, you need to work on getting some flip flops, because that's what these are designed to be ridden with, flip flops.
I'm sure that's proper attire.
Well, that's awesome. Well, very cool. I don't know. Do you need help with anything? You all loaded up?
It's all loaded. I just got to strap it down.
Awesome. And whenever you're got some time to kill, you're not working on a Saturday, swing on up. But we're
I
after
would
work
love
sometime.
to.
And we'll pop some wheelies and drive in the woods, sink them in mud hole.
I like
'Cause
that.
that's what they were made for. All right. Well, thank you, sir.
All right, thank
I
you.
appreciate you very,
Yeah,
very much.
it's good to meet you.
Awesome. Kyle's first 250. Now you race motocross.
I do.
How do you do with that? You any good?
I'm not the best.
Not the best?
No showstopper.
I raced my 400EX one time in 1999 when it was brand new, and I realized in about 5 seconds probably, but before the first lap was over, I realized that riding in the woods is a lot different than riding on a track.
Oh yeah, it is.
And I wasn't cut out for it. And suspension is everything, and I didn't modify anything to do with my suspension. Did you do this yet? That's not going anywhere. That's the key. Very cool. Now, if you want to get that replaced, you know where to go, right? Blue Line decals.
No.
Hit up Bruce Allman, and he can get you a perfect match to that.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Very, very cool.
Well, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too.
Okay. We are home. Let's pull some straps off. Nice. And that's not even the nice one. See, when you get a big collection, sometimes you need to hire somebody to drive them for you. I don't ride these, I push them. So Greg's my rider. So, again, I want to thank my buddy Kyle for giving me the lead on these. I mean, it was his deal, and he so graciously included me, and I thank you for that, Kyle. So, big time kudos for that. I think now I'm just going to do a little walk around and scrutinize them. I'm noticing some gunk on the motor there, but that's a decent, clean motor. Not perfect. These were definitely used by the sheriff's department, as we talked about, and then privately. But this tank looks nice. They were numbered by the police department, and they corresponded to tags. So this is number 152. That is super duper clean, just like you want. The seats, I noticed, have some imperfections. This is going to be my new keeper, but my old keeper has a perfect seat, so the perfect seat will remain in the stable. But shoot, these are very nice. Very, very. I noticed this tab he's got kind of wrapped around. That tab is meant to keep this forward, so that seam is tight. So that needs to be addressed. Lots of meat on the tires. The rims aren't perfect, but it is survivor quality, and it's got that paperwork. You hold that open for me. So I got full packets for both machines, and
Manual.
the manual. What's that in the manual? What is that?
Maybe something the sheriff.
Yeah. Montgomery County Department of Public Works, Fleet 154, ATV number 4. That's neat. So Mike, the guy who sold us these, he you can let that down. Oh, and then this. He told us there was actually 4 of these that were turned into the local dealership, and he was able to buy them back in 2003. But somebody at the dealership kept one for themselves. So though there were 4, he only got 3. So that kind of jives with number 4 there. But the wind is picking up, so I'm gonna cover that up. That's neat. But these came from Crispin's Cycle down in Palatine Bridge. Barry Crispin. They have closed their doors, but they were a great dealership. A lot of machines came out of that dealership. This one's got the book as well. Very cool. Crispin's sales. So that's cool. We'll clean that up. But they're a little dirty, but I think they will clean up very nice. And since we got some 87 sitting here, I think we need to pull out the rest of the 87 lineup and do a video on those. Only makes sense. But for now, we're gonna take a break. Everybody, so it is the next day. I've had a chance to ride the machines a little bit, to snap some pictures. My buddy Greg and I blasted them off with the pressure washer just a little bit yesterday. They do need a little detail work, and right now I have pulled out my machine, my current 87, from its spot in the lineup, and I have lined up all three of the 87 Big Reds. So this is the less nice one that we brought home yesterday. This is what would be the nicest one, and this is the one I've had for at least a couple years now. If you've seen my video on these, this one's got Mr. Beatty's social right in the plastics. And the reason I don't feel bad showing this to you is because he was a very old man when he sold this to the guy I got it from back in like '89. So if I had to bet money on it, I'd say he's not around anymore. So he might be, no, I won't say that. Anyway, but that's the one I've had. Very nice machine, except the tires have been worn significantly. They don't owe anybody nothing anymore. Very, very nice machine. All the Cosmoline, or the plastic, whatever that is, on the levers are still there. The racks are in very respectable shape. They're not perfect, but some signs of wear. The seat, like, this is dirty from a winter's worth of dust. It's arguably nicer than the rest. So as I'm looking at this compared to the others, I'm gonna have to do some soul searching, because my thought was I was gonna keep this guy because it's got all the paperwork, and I've got a registration from this and a owner's manual, but I don't have the original paperwork. So that is a tough call. This one's got some corrosion on the frame. As we cleaned it off yesterday, we noticed that. The tanks are all beautiful. That might be the nicest tank. You can see mine's got a little nick there in the white, and so does this. Helmet holders, they're all beautiful on the inside. This one's got a little notch. I think my gimbal is hitting. Let me make an adjustment. Okay, that's better. So just to recap, you know, these were sourced by my buddy Kyle, sharp young guy. He's been a go-getter since the time I became aware of him. We just finally met yesterday, but he has been a go-getter. He did all the legwork, chased these out, tracked down the original owner. Not the original owner. The original owner was the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, but he tracked down the now former owner, who bought him in 2003 from the dealership they originally came from, Chrisman's Cycle, down, I think, Palatine Bridge is the town. And of the 4 original machines, he owned 3 for almost 20 years, and now I own 2. And they are complete paperwork. They haven't been registered, but if you know what you're doing, you can get a 3-wheeler registered in New York pretty easy. I think the last thing I'll do is maybe pull up the rear fenders to show you how that's done, because it's kind of neat, and some people might not know how to do it. So I'm going to do one, and then I'll show you on another. So here we go. Okay, so step 1 is to pull the seat and both the side covers. That's the kicker cover that's always missing. That is the cover for the other side. that exposes your air box. You can see a little bit of your toolbox. This is funny, property of Montgomery County, so they put these stickers on when they were owned by the police department. These are called your rack knobs. There's two that hold down your whole fender assembly, and the fender assembly will then tip up. And you want to be careful. You don't want this to fall down on you while you're working. So you take this little guy and you put it back in there in the little holder. So then she's secured. But that's a cool little feature. So like, I want to wipe down everything and definitely make it clean. You'll see the wires, there's dust, and this is after pressure washing. So even with pressure washing, we didn't get a super duper clean end product. But that is how you tilt back the back bonnet, whatever you want to call it, on one of these 250ES Big Reds. 85 to 88 is all the same when it comes to that, at least. This one's still set up from the parade it was in last year. Quick note, this is a Honda box, but it is off a scooter, I believe. European model scooter. Got that from my buddy Vinny. These are accessories that are desirable and pricey when they pop up. There's other accessories you can get for these, but that's a topic for another day. This is just the story of how two really nice 87 Big Reds found their way back to my place. So thank you so much for watching, guys. We got one last thing to do before we say goodbye. We're gonna take this guy and we're gonna just try to roll him up here. Nice 87 Big Red. Oh, this is my favorite thing, pushing them. Ooh, I tell you what, you have not lived until you have pushed one of every model three-wheeler that Honda made. That's how you know you're living. But we've discussed the 87 Big Reds we just dragged home, and now we're going to discuss the 87 ATC lineup behind us. So make sure you like and subscribe. You don't want to miss that. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. From my hoard to yours, have a great day and a great rest of the weekend. Catch you next time.